Today we're going to talk about articles. We've learned about articles before, but this time we're going to specifically talk about something called partitive articles or les articles partitifs en français. So I'm going to present this and we'll get started. En français, tu as besoin d'un article avec un nom toujours. So this is just a really important note, and as I'm explaining it, I'd like you to make sure that you have your notes page out that I put onto Google Classroom so you can take notes. We know that you always need an article in French when you're talking about a noun. So whether it's a person, place, or thing, you always need an article. And the articles that we've learned so far, which we'll recap here, we know we use them according to the gender of the noun. So if it is a feminine noun, use a feminine article like la or une. And if it's a masculine person, place, thing, use the masculine article like le or un. And if it's plural, we use de or le. So let's get into this so we can review and learn. J'ai un stylo. J'ai un stylo. Oh. J'ai un stylo. So we remember the structure. J'ai, I have. Un stylo, we've seen this before. Un stylo meaning a pen. And because it is un, we know that stylo is masculine. I have a pen. Un is considered an indefinite article, because we don't know what kind of pen it is. It's just a pen. J'ai un stylo. I have a pen. We have to have the article there. You can't just say, I have pen. J'ai un stylo. I have a pen. J'adore la glace. J'adore la glace. You don't need to take notes quite yet. We're just kind of recapping some articles that we've known already. So, j'ai la glace. I like ice cream. This is actually a definite article, and typically we know that la is the, but here we use it because we're just making a general comment about a like or dislike. In this case, it's a like. I like ice cream, which we can say in English, but in French you have to say, I like the ice cream. J'adore la glace. When you say general likes or dislikes, you need to include the la or the le. So, here's where we're going to start taking notes. So where you see les articles indéfinis, indefinite articles, you're going to start writing down these things. So, un is an example of an indefinite article. It means a or a. Un stylo, a pen. Une is a feminine indefinite article that also means a. They both mean the same thing, but it depends on if what you're talking about is masculine with un or feminine with une. And then de. De is for when you're talking about more than one thing, but not specific things. And it's when you want to say some. De. So we have un masculin, une féminin, des pluriel. Il mange une pomme. Il mange une pomme. He eats an apple. So une is feminine, so we're using une right there. Pomme happens to be, or apple happens to be, a feminine word. He eats an apple. We don't know anything about the apple. We don't know whose apple it was or what color it is. He's just eating an apple. It's indefinite, and that's why we're using une. Elle a une baguette. Elle a une baguette. She has a baguette. We don't know where she bought it from. We don't know if she likes baguettes. We don't know if it's an expensive one or if it's a good one. It's just a baguette. Baguette is feminine, so we're going to use une. Nous avons des couteaux. Nous avons des couteaux. We have some knives. Couteau, we've seen from our new vocab, is knife. This is plural. We have some knives. Now, in English, we could say, we have knives, and we don't need an article there. But in French, we do. We always need an article with a noun. And in this case, it's going to be des, because we're talking about more than one knife. J'ai un ami français. J'ai un ami français. J'ai un ami français. So, I have a French friend. I haven't told you anything about this person. It's just an indefinite thing. Like, you don't know what his name is. You don't know how old he is. It's just a friend, a French friend. And since he's masculine, we're going to say un. Tu prends une banane? Are you having a banana? Same thing here. I'm not asking about a specific banana, just a banana. And we're using une because banane is feminine. Now, let's talk about les articles définis. So, we have le, which, can you tell me if that's masculine or feminine? C'est masculin, le. La, c'est féminin. Les, pluriel. Repeat after me. Le, la, les. They all mean the. Oh, and we also have à l'apostrophe when the next word starts with a vowel. Masculin, féminin, pluriel, avant un voyelle, before a vowel. J'aime le café. We've seen this structure before. I like coffee. We're expressing a general like, so we're going to use le, the definite article. In English, you can just say, I like coffee, but in French, you have to use the definite article le. And because café is masculin, we're using le. Il adore les céréales. He loves cereal. Now, in English, we don't say he loves the cereal, which is literally what this says. We just say he loves cereal. But in French, you need an article. And for likes and dislikes, you're going to use the definite article. So you're going to put that down in that column for why you would use it. It's to talk about likes or dislikes. That's one reason. Now, here's another reason. Je prends la pomme rouge. I'm taking or I'm having the red apple. So I'm specifically talking about this one. It's definite. It's not just any apple, it's the red apple. So we're going to use the definite article here. One reason for using a definite article, which you should put on your notes page, is to talk about specific things. Like in this case, it's the red apple. Ça, c'est la famille de Jean. Je regarde l'oncle de Jean. So this is Jean's family. And we're using this structure because we can't use an apostrophe S to say Jean's family. You have to say the family of Jean. And it's the family of Jean. It's specific. We're specifically talking about his family. We're not going to say this is a family of Jean's because he has just one family. So we'll say la famille de Jean. Famille is feminine, so we're going to use the feminine article. Je regarde l'oncle de Jean. I'm looking at Jean's uncle. Now, same thing here. We can't say Jean's oncle with the apostrophe S. We have to say the uncle of Jean. And it's specific. I'm looking at a specific person. So we're going to say l'oncle de Jean, the uncle of Jean. It's L apostrophe because oncle starts with A and vowel. Now, let's talk about partitive articles. Du, let's write these in that first column there. De la, des. De à l'apostrophe. Masculin, féminin, pluriel, avant une voyelle. Now take a look here. Let's look at the difference here. Here it says, je prends du café, and here it says, je prends un café. Je prends du café, I'm having some coffee, versus je prends un café, I'm having a coffee. So, je prends du café, I'm having some coffee. It's not the whole pot, it's some of it. So, if you're having some of a whole, you're going to use what's called un article partitif, a partitive article. Because café is masculine, we're going to use du. Du means some of the café or coffee, versus I'm having a coffee. Like if you were just to have like a to-go cup from Starbucks, that's a coffee. Elle mange de la baguette. She's eating some of the baguette. Now, she's not eating the whole thing. She's having some of it. Baguette's feminine. We're going to use the feminine partitive article, de la. Versus elle mange une baguette. She's eating the whole thing. So we're going to use une. She's eating a baguette. And that implies she's eating the whole thing. So we have to know that if the food items are masculine or feminine in order to know which article to use. Il prend des céréales au petit déjeuner. So he's having some cereal at breakfast. Now, céréales is plural in French, so we're going to use des right here. He's not having all of the cereal, he's just having some of it. Il prend des céréales. In English, you can say he's having cereal, but in French, you cannot. You need an article there. And since he's just saying he's just having some of it, you're going to use the partitive article de. Now look at this picture. Il prend les céréales très sucrées. He's having the very sugary cereal. It looks like he put the whole box in there, so we don't need to use the partitive article. Je mange de l'ananas. An ananas is a pineapple, and she's eating some of it, versus je mange un ananas, which is a pineapple. So notice how we're using the partitive here versus not. Now remember, in English, you could just say, I'm eating pineapple, and that's fine. But in French, you cannot say that. You need an article. And since you only have some of the pineapple, usually, we're going to use the partitive article there. And it's de à l'apostrophe, L apostrophe, because ananas, look at that, starts with a vowel. Ils prennent des croissants? Are they taking or having some croissants? No. La pâtisserie n'a pas de croissant. So croissant is plural here, so we're using des. And then notice how in a negative sentence with avoir, the pastry shop does not have, the article changes to de, and that's just a grammar rule. We'll talk more about that later. So I'd like you to make sure you fill out your graphic organizer, watch this video again if you need to, and then we'll recap the notes in our WebEx.